Hi, everyone. It is Steph. I am wrapping up my series on James Clear's Atomic Habits. I've spent a really good chunk of time this year examining the principles that he outlines in his book. I find it incredibly helpful to understanding the psychology between habits and how to form them, and particularly this reward center in the brain, which is the last thing that I want to talk with you about today, which is this idea that what we get rewarded for, we want to repeat. So when we get this task accomplished, we attach a little reward that goes with it. And then our brain says, hey, we want to keep doing this thing. We want to keep engaged with this habit because we get this reward when we do it. So I think that instant gratification and that short-term, built-in reward system, I agree with him. It's incredibly helpful. If I get my chores done around the house, I spend a little time outside in my garden with my flowers and the birds, and I just get to observe nature, and it makes me all happy, right? After I've done the drudgery of laundry. Or I eat my very healthy lunch that I prepared for myself, and then I get a little bit of chocolate when I'm done, and that's my little dessert. It's my little treat for having a clean diet, right? So we do these little things and these instant rewards because honestly, it helps keep us in the game. I personally like to mix in with these little short-term wins, bigger rewards that maybe the gratification is a little delayed, but the payoff is bigger. And my favorite, hands down, my favorite tip around this is the 5th week. I know many of you have already heard me preach the gospel of the 5th week, and I am just going to keep preaching it probably for the rest of the time I am in business because it's awesome. So when you look at the calendar, you'll notice that with the exception of like February, every single month has extra days. So if you look at the classic 20-day work month, there's usually months that have like a 5th Monday or a 5th Thursday and Friday. And there's just these little leftover days sitting there. I go into my calendar at the end of every year and I look at the following year and I block all of those extra days off because I've already worked and billed for your classic 20-day month at that point. And this is where I think using this as a reward for entrepreneurs is especially important and just philosophically kind of interesting, right? Everyone's heard the saying, we're human beings, we're not just human doings. But as entrepreneurs, man, do we like to get stuff done. It's like, where's the challenge? Where's the task? How can I influence change? What can I affect today, right? We are just cranking and moving on all cylinders most of the time. So it feels really good to know that you have these little pressure release valves in your calendar where you can just be on cruise control. There isn't anything that you have to do on those days, that you can just show up however you want to show up. It can be for fun, it can be for relaxation, it's whatever you need. And I've really come to count on those days, especially as a solopreneur, and everything, that happens in my business is on me. Quick shout out to Megan, my VA. Thank you very much for all of your help. I've grown very attached to you. But there's a lot to get done behind the scenes, in addition to serving my clients, which I take very seriously. And that takes discipline, focus, commitment, and presence. And so I can maintain that at a very high level for those 20 days. And then I start feeling itchy. And I've come to depend on these 5th week days as an opportunity to just check in with myself and say, what do I feel like doing today? Do I feel like making a bowl of popcorn and watching Netflix? Great, no judgment here. Do I want to go out and have lunch with someone? Do I want to relax? Do I want to work in the yard? I can just be, or I can do, but the fact is it's a choice. And that choice is my reward. So this is something that I really encourage you to think about, because most entrepreneurs I know are burning the candle at both ends most of the time, and they don't remember the last time that they could just wake up in their pajamas and stay in their pajamas all day if they damn well felt like it. Again, no judgment here. So I really encourage you to look at sort of your reward mix. Do you have enough of the little things short term that give you that reward, pleasure sensor in the brain feeling where it's like, I did a good job today and I got my little treat and, you're doing a great job. And also sort of this larger idea of stepping back and truly relaxing and putting some gas back in your own tank. So if you are in professions where doing this at the end of the month does not make sense for you because you're closing out transactions and you've got month-end, responsibilities to meet, maybe consider moving those days to the front of the month, or, peppering them in and sprinkling them into throughout the month. So you don't take them all off at one time, or you can have a long weekend somewhere else. But in my mind, there's no reason, if you've already worked and billed for 20 days that month, that you can't take a day off and have a long weekend every month and just be able to step back. And I've also found that the advantage of that is when I take care of myself and I'm not going all the time, and I've given some of that space and some of that distance, when I'm rested, I always come back with clarity and creativity that I did not have when I was more tired and starting to run out of gas. So taking care of yourself is good business. And I know you've heard me say that before, and it's another one of those things that I also will say forever. Take care of yourself. It's the right thing to do for yourself, for your loved ones, and for your business and your clients. So that is the last new video that I am doing for the year. Next month, I'm going to run a best of series of the videos that got the most engagement or the most comments from clients to me over the years, just to give you a little wrap up and give you some momentum going into the new year in case there were some things that you didn't have a chance to act on yet. And then in the first quarter of next year, we're diving into a whole new topic and a whole new book. So stay tuned for that. Hope this was helpful. I hope you've had a beautiful year and have a lovely Thanksgiving. See you next year. Bye, everyone.